Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be continuing our benefit entitlement explanation series. The last video in the series was the divorced spouse video, and this one is the independently entitled divorced spouse video. Overall, it's the same benefit computation, very similar set of circumstances. But the primary difference in this, which a lot of people don't realize, is when you're a divorced spouse or you're eligible for a divorced spouse benefit, that indicates that the person that you divorced, whose record you're eligible under, has already drawn Social Security benefits. They have an active record that they're being paid on. Where an independently entitled divorced spouse is usually a situation where the other person has not filed yet, primarily for one of two reasons. One, they're under their full retirement age and they're still working full-time, or they're making too much money, one way or the other, to be able to draw that benefit. Or they're waiting for a higher amount at a later date. Okay? Sorry about the pop-ups. So what the independently entitled divorced spouse option does is, as long as the other person that you've divorced is 62 and your insurance amount is less than 50% of theirs, regardless of if they have filed or not, you can still pull a benefit off of their record. So let's say that they're 64, you're just turning 62, you want to file for your retirement benefits. Let's say your amount is $1,000, their full amount is $3,000, right? Half of $3,000 as a spouse or divorced spouse, the most that you're eligible for is 50% of the other person's record, which would be at your full retirement age. So if you take your benefits before then they're going to be reduced, right? So theirs is $3,000, yours is $1,000. That means that the most you're due in total is $1,500. At 62, less the reduction, you draw your benefit. That means that you're going to be eligible off the other person's record as well. And again, they have not filed. Is kind of the key difference between divorced spouse benefits and independently entitled divorced spouse benefits. So it's kind of in the name there too. You're independently entitled to benefits off that person's record, even when they have not filed. So there is it's a slightly longer process for the application to go through. It's nothing to do with you as much as Social Security systems. So normally what this would look like, so don't fret, is they'll probably process your own retirement application. You might, depending on where you are as far as your age and your month of entitlement, you might get your payment right away, and then maybe like a week later you'll see the other portion as a independently entitled divorced spouse kick in, and then moving forward it will all come as one check, realistically on the same date, based off of more than likely your own birthday. If you're eligible for benefits off your own record. If you're not, and you're only eligible for benefits, let's say that you have no work history or little to none, and you're not insured under your own record, then at that point, this is all you would be eligible for. All right, and the policy reference here is RS 00202.100. I could go over this, but realistically, again, the key difference is, all you need to know is that if you're divorced from somebody, you know that they have a significantly higher wages in their work history than you, but they haven't taken their benefit yet. Maybe you're on, whether you're on good, neutral, or bad terms. I have talked to multiple people who didn't file because they said, well, that person hasn't drawn a benefit yet, and they assume that that has to be the case. And this, it doesn't. The only other detail to this is you have to be divorced. Your divorce has to be finalized for 2 years. Okay, so I'm sure that's in here as well. 2 years. divorce. Let's see. I know it's in here somewhere. It might say 24 months in the 2 years. There it is. If you deny a claim because the applicant does not meet the 2-year divorce requirement, oh, that's just saying use a specific citation. So that might be in another section of policy. So again, both of you have to be at least 62. You have to be eligible. Your insurance amount at your full retirement age has to be less than 50% of the other person's. And you have to be divorced for 2 years, right? So if let's say that your divorce got finalized at 62, that means you would not be able to file for this benefit until you're 64, unless the other person subsequently, maybe before that 2-year period, let's say that they file for benefits. Now you're not an independently entitled divorce spouse. You would just be a divorce spouse, right? So again, that's the fundamental difference. Is you're applying for, normally you can't pull a payment off of somebody else's record until they activate the record. In this case, that is not true. You just have to be 62, divorced for a couple years, and your insurance amount has to be 50% or less of theirs. And you still have to meet the standard divorce spouse obligation of having a marriage that lasted for 10 years or more. So from the time that you got married to the time that your divorce was finalized, there has to be a 10-year period in between.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your bell notifications so that you're always notified whenever I'm posting new content. If you have a question or want me to cover another topic, please leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to address it as soon as possible. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day.